Now the converter 50 is often called a rotation type converter. You can see it actually uses a spiral to suck up the ink. This converter 20 is sometimes called a press plate converter, and you suck up the ink by pressing. In order to use one of these converters, you would also need an ink of your choice. Now, Pilot recommends that you only use Pilot fountain pen ink to fill their pen. And of course, you know, it's up to you whether or not you want to try other branded inks in your pen. Of course, the easiest way are with these pre-filled cartridges that you would merely snap in. So first we're going to talk about the more complicated ways, the converter 20 and the converter 50. So let's set the converter 50 aside and start with the converter 20. So you're going to either snap off or unscrew your lid, and then you're going to unscrew the neck from the rest of the body of the pen. You are going to snap in your press plate converter, and you can actually feel it snapping in. Now, if you know your pen has just had ink in it and is not dry, you would want to do this with the nib facing up, just to avoid the leakage that is pretty inevitable when you're dealing with fountain pens. So we are going to use this beautiful Momiji Iroshizuku ink. It's supposed to invoke the color of fall leaves. Now the next thing you need to do, we're going to pop that bubble, the next thing you need to do is submerge your nib into the ink. Then you're going to press the converter plate and release it, which should have sucked up the ink for you. You try to make the release process as slow as possible so that it really fills back up that converter. Now we're going to tip this back up, screw your leg back on, set your ink aside, and begin writing. So that's the converter 20. It's really pretty simple to use. Now, to model the converter 50, we're going to use the Shoro ink by Iroshizuku. It's a really pretty, kind of like, almost like a hunter green, but a little bit of a tinge of blue in there. It's a really pretty ink. So we're going to do the same thing. Take the lid off. We're going to unscrew the neck from the rest of the pen. This had a pre-filled cartridge in it. We're going to stick this new converter in there. You want to make sure that you twist this counterclockwise so that that screw is all the way down. Then the same thing, you're going to submerge this into the ink and you're going to twist up, hopefully drawing up the ink. And there you go, we're filled up. This part you have to be pretty careful because it's a messy process. Once your ink starts flowing, I usually just do some scrolls. Okay. And then you can begin writing with it. And finally, the absolute easiest way to fill your fountain pen is with one of these pre-filled cartridges. So let's take our Kakuno, and because we have a cartridge already existing in here, I'll show you it just snaps right off, and then keep the nib pointing up so that you don't end up with a big spillage, and then just snap that cartridge in there. It's really as simple as that. Now if this is a brand new cartridge that hadn't been used yet, you can milk it gently to get the ink flowing, but you don't want to do it too hard or you could end up with a big spill on your page. So then sometimes it takes a while to get it going, sometimes it doesn't. And this is a blue-black pre-filled cartridge with a medium nib, so you can see it's writing thicker than the other samples I gave. And this is the Kakuno fountain pen. The other fountain pens shown in this video were the Custom 74. This one has a 14 karat white gold